So the important character first of all is the King Charles II. We have already seen in the background that he is the King of England. He was restored in 1660 and ruled up to 1685. So for 25 years he remains as the king. He follows the Anglican Church, but he is brought up, he is made under Catholic Church. Hence, he is having tendency of both the religion. He shows the toleration. It means he does not favor only and only one particular religion, but his span of governance is full of controversy because of many things. Number one is that the Charles was married to uh, a princess of Portugal, and he is having no legitimate child. He has neither a son nor a daughter. It means after his death, or sometimes if any crisis occurs, who can rule? That was a question. But we know that restoration period is having no moral values because the king himself had no such values. King Charles had a lot of illegitimate extramarital relationship with many women. Nearly 7 or 8 women are in his contact, and he produced many children also by that way. And those children who are illegitimate children are later on brought up as well as treated like princes, and they are also given various titles and positions also. Among them, the most popular, powerful, and favorite is the Duke of Monmouth, and that is also one character later on we find in the poem. This is the king's moral aspect. He is having no faith in one particular woman, but having lot of relationship with many women. Moreover, uh, he secretly makes a treaty with the king French Louis the 14th, and but it comes out in 1671 that causes a great havoc in country. Uh, People begin to doubt about him, and because of that, England goes to civil war and has to suffer a lot. That is how uh, French treaty and secret dealings with the king, that is his cousin actually. Uh, Charles II was always doubtful. Suppose the government stops financial assistance to him. In that condition, he must have money, he must have army, he must have supporters, and all those things he knew that will not come from the country. And that's why he took the help of the king, Louis the 14th. Moreover, during his period, he remained neutral to Anglican people as well as Catholic people, but the treaty created doubt, and some people thought that he might turn or he may have accepted Catholic religion, and English people did not like this thing because it is the government of Anglican people. The majority people of English are having Anglican church. So if any person comes from Catholic faith, then things would be different. Moreover, later on, there was also a bill passed that Catholic people are prevented. So that is how things around Charles II taking place, and he deals very severely with those people who have revolted against him. These are the things which we have already seen in the political background, yet I just mentioned few of things which had been left yesterday. Another character was Earl of Shaftesbury. As I told you yesterday, that he is also a very powerful man, intellectual man, a diligent man. He had showed his strength as the commander. He has been into the uh, force of parliament, and later on he gets the position in privy council as well as a minister in the Cabal government, and later on he is also appointed as the Lord Exchequer. So these are the very important positions he holds, and because of that, he becomes popular also. There is no doubt about his abilities and enthusiasm. Moreover, uh, he was a person that was having confidence of the king, but for a small thing, he made dealing with Lord Buckingham, and he drifted. Lord Buckingham was also a friend of the king, but secret dealing with him to revolt against the king made lose Earl of Shaftesbury his position, and he was sent for the first time in the jail. After some time, he comes out of the jail, but within few time, again he revolts the king and makes use of papish plot, and for that king suffered a lot, and he is sent again to the jail. And later on, a jury was set up. It was the Whig jury. Earl of Shaftesbury represents the opposition leader of the Whigs, and he is acquitted. But things were not good for him. He knew that king will not leave him unpunished, and hence he had to leave the country also. He had to flee away. This is Earl of Shaftesbury. Another character in the poem is Titus Otis. He is also a very important figure in the English clerical church. You can say in Anglican church. He is a clergyman, very important person. Initially, he was giving lectures. He had faith in the Anglican Church, but he himself is having various views, and hence people doubted about him. He began to wander here and there, and about his religious particular views, his superiors did not like, but because of that, because he lost faith in Anglican Church, he was dismissed, and his beneficiaries were taken away. In such a condition, when things were gone from his hands, he began to move from one place to another place, thinking about one particular dream which he received from some of the talks by some crazy or whimsical people. And this dream is that England may become the government of Catholic people, and hence he wished that uh, Catholic people should be removed and England should remain as a dominant country, as a tool of Anglican Church, very powerful country he wanted to make in the terms of Anglican religion. And these are the things that people did not accept, but uh, he began to uh, dream to do something himself, and that's why uh, he invented certain things. He went to the king and says to the king that he has heard some of the Catholic people making a plot against the king. It means he wants to convince the king, Charles II, that he has come across a very hideous design. He tells the king that Catholic people may kill you, and there are various ways that they are planning. Number one, he says that you may be poisoned. Number two, he says that you may be shot dead with silver bullets. Number three is that you may be beheaded. Uh, and number four is that uh, you may be dismissed from your position anyhow. So this is how, and he says that he has heard these plans from Catholic people. And he says that Catholic people have made uh, a plan in such a way that Catholic people themselves will take a place in the government. They are in a way apparently will be Anglican people. So mask of Anglican people, but really they are Catholic people. Such people would be at the higher positions. The Pope has said that remove Anglican people and give position to Catholic people, and hence slowly all Catholic people would hold important position, and then you remove the king. That is how he look. Pope has said, Catholic people have said, removing the Anglican people and taking the hold of government. And then he says that even French people will support, and French army would come to England, and British ships would be burnt out. And earlier, in England, fire took place and destroyed a lot of parts of London. Otis says that as this is the plot of Catholic people, means Otis convinces the king that fire of London was a plot of Catholic people. They had burnt England. Same way, again, they would destroy England. So this is what Titus Otis says. And king initially uh, shows a faith in. No doubt he personally does not believe whatever Otis says, but uh, whatever king heard, he put everything to the parliament, and parliament set up a jury to ask Otis, and Otis confessed those things to them, and also brought some of the proofs. As a result, uh, some of the people were executed. Actually, Otis had uh, a kind of enmity with Lord Stafford. He wanted to remove him, he wanted to kill him, but through this way he does it and removes his enemy. That way, one after the another, uh, his enemies. Actually, Otis wanted to remove his enemies, wanted to kill his enemies, and he uses this plot that way. The king Charles had illegal relationship with many women. Out of them, there was one, an Irish girl. While the king himself was not on the position, when he was wandering, at that time he had fell in love with a woman, and with that woman, uh, the king has a son, and he grew up. The king brought him up as his own son, means like a prince. He is treated, no doubt his own son, but it is illegal son. Extramarital relationship has brought that one, but the boy was very good. The king liked him very much. He gave everything to the prince, almost opened the door of the palace. Remember that The palace is meant for legitimate prince, not illegal prince. But the king had no any legal issue, girl or boy. Hence, he loved this boy very much. And this boy, named as Scott, grows up, gets the love of father, and also becomes a handsome man. Later on, he shows his strength uh, in the Dutch War. He is having the leadership quality, showed that he can win for the country. He did win the war, comes back, and wherever he went, he was welcomed by the people. Look, uh, a boy, young boy, right, is having the acclaim of such things, and he is made uh, Duke, Duke of Monmouth. Not only the Duke of Monmouth, but many other titles and position he is given, and he is treated like a prince. No doubt, he is not entitled for all these things, but his qualities, his personal qualities, made him to get all these things. So he begins to think that he is also loved by people, and people showed faith in him also. Wherever he went, he was welcomed. Lots of people came to welcome him, and he began to think that he is really a great man, and no doubt he becomes a great man. Some of the things are given by the father, that is true, but some of the things he himself also got. So that is the one thing. Now, actually, Duke of Monmouth never thought to be a king because he had great loyalty to his father. He knew that his illegitimate son, he has no right to be a king. But Earl of Shaftesbury uses him. He incites a dream to this man, and he said that you are the person who can rule the king. Forget that you are illegitimate child, but you have qualities. People want you, and your father is becoming weak. He is now old, and people are losing faith in him. You are Anglican. Your father is Anglican, and people do not want your father's brother James II to be a king, and Catholic people will never accept other person. So why don't you become a king? Look, this is what Earl of Shaftesbury tells Duke of Monmouth. So he becomes the instrument. Duke of Monmouth becomes instrument for this thing. So this is another character, Duke of Monmouth. One more character, and that is Halifax. Actually, he was the Earl and later on made Marquis. In the poem, when we read, he is referred as Yotham. Halifax was a lord in the parliament. He was a very important personality, a diplomat. He was a genius man. He was very good at making conversations, logical power he had, and whenever he made arguments in the houses, whether Whig party or Tory party, people listened to him, and the way he put the presentations, the talks, the dialogues in favor or against something, people called him a man of ability, and for that he is using the term dreamers. Actually, uh, this appreciation, no doubt people listened to him, but some people did not like him. So it's a kind of a criticism when they use dreamers. But Lord Halifax uh, took it as an honor. He knows that he is loved by the people. People appreciates him. And in 1681, when bill was against the king, exclusion bill means not to keep James II as the king. That bill was to pass. Earlier, that was already put into the House of Commons and they had passed the bill. Now it was the time in the House of Lords. If the House of Lords passed the bill, exclusion bill means not to make King James II, right? Then uh, things might be different. It was already uh, thought that the bill would pass. Means English government will accept that they will not consider James II as the next king. But because of Lord Halifax's arguments, long speech, he convinced the people at the right time that it is a bad thing. And because of his speech, the bill passed, but in favor of the king. The bill was actually defeated. So that is the Lord Halifax character, a loyal person to the king. In the poem, we will come to know. And finally, there is one more character, uh, that is Lawrence Hyde. He is referred in the poem as Hushai. He is the son of Charles, Chancellor Clarendon, second son, and he is having excellent parts, a man of wit in the parliament and diplomatic experience he has. But uh, even though he had the capability of negotiation and well acquainted with courtier manners, uh, his genius is wasted down. Sometimes whatever his views are, they are driven away by some people. Means a man of wit, rationality, abundance, experience, a good courtier, diplomatic man, but forgets what the qualities he has and often indulges in uh, trivial things, trivial things of writing, or you can say music, dance, women, violence, on such things. He is doing all these things. Means you can say a person who loses the path. He is also made fun in the poem. So these are the important characters in the poem, and when we read, we should keep in mind who represents them in the poem, because the poem is a allegorical one. The characters from the Bible will come. We will read the biblical story about the story of King David, Absalom, Achitophel, their ministers, their plot, their designs, and their ways of how to deal with the people. But uh, it is a apparent story at the bottom, beneath the uh, mask. We find the story of English government and the king and the minister. So no doubt there are some minor characters, but when I read the poem, I will explain to you.